What's going on, you guys? Mr. Money1235 back here yet again for another album review. Sufjan Stevens, Michigan. I didn't actually get introduced to this band in any weird sort of way, just kind of clicking around YouTube, honestly, and I came across this guy. I've listened to cuts from almost all of his albums, really, and I've liked songs from all of them, but I've never been able to get into a full album from this guy until I came across this album. This album, for me personally, takes a whole lot of influences from all of Sufjan's other albums and just incorporates them in a way that sounds better melody-wise, musically. I just think it's just a good combination of a lot of his work that he's made up to this point. The only thing that's missing is the Age of Oz stuff that he was doing with electronics, which not a whole lot of people cared for that much, and personally, I don't either. So I feel like I'm getting the best of all the worlds that he's involved in with listening to this one. I also get the most emotional feeling out of this album just because I know what it's based upon, which is the state of Michigan. He's also made an album called Illinois, which has a bunch of themes about it like Chicago and songs like that. But I feel like if you're going to write an album about a state, that Michigan is just a really good choice because there's so many things happening up there that's just so fucked up. You've got the city of Detroit, which has been in the most economic shithole for the longest time. It's basically a big ghetto. It's a scary, scary city. You have the infamous town of Flint, Michigan, which involves a whole lot of really unemployed people who have to travel really, really far to feed their families. Watch the movie Bowling for Columbine. That documentary that's all about the shootings at Columbine High School has an excellent segment in it about Flint, Michigan that I would definitely recommend you check out. It's really cool. Listening to this album actually made me remember that part of the movie, and especially in the very first song, which is simply called Flint. A really, really sad, downtrodden piano tune with some really emotional lyrics talking about, like I've said before, just losing your job, not being able to feed your family. You can really feel the pain when listening to this song, and that's what I picture. I just picture that part in that movie where all them people were taking the bus 45 minutes to the nearest city so that they can go to their minimum wage jobs that's not enough to feed their 2 kids. Just a really amazing song, and then that fades into a more upbeat song on the album. All the good naysayers, speak up or forever hold your peace. Just a more upbeat song along with the piano. There's a mandolin that gets introduced in there along with the drums. Sufjan's voice is just so beautiful on this entire record. It just mixes so well with this really upbeat song, and then there's some really cool harmonies that come in on top of that. Going into the next song in this album, which is down-tuned yet again, but it just features him playing a banjo, and I just love this section of the song. It's just him and a banjo and like a female, and some horns that remind me a whole lot of the horns that you heard on that In the Airplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel. A lot of this album kind of reminds me of that one, actually. Just a really emotional, slow song. Just the chords that he uses in that one just send chills up my spine. I love this song so much. Then later on in the album, you have a few interludes in there that are just beautiful piano parts that go into more really steady tunes featuring mandolin, banjo, acoustic guitar, string sections, horns. Another really cool thing about this album is how live all of these instruments feel. The piano, it is a real fucking piano. It's not some fucking keyboard with a piano setting. It's a real piano he's playing. You can hear the clarity in it. Same thing with the horns. They feel so fresh. Like I said, if you listen to In the Airplane Over the Sea, that's what they sound like. Just the entire album is just a really emotional ride from beginning to end. Just one of my favorite things that I've heard from this guy. Like I said, the only full album that I can get into him from, but I also really enjoyed the album Seven Swans. Something about that album was just really cool too, how most of it was just in the whole country instrumentation like banjo and mandolin. I really like that part of it. So anyway, give Michigan a try. You can listen to this album for free on YouTube right now. Just go see what I'm talking about. See if you can get into it. I just think it's really cool and I would recommend it to anybody. It's just really easy listening. Great for a lonely evening at home. Definitely would recommend it. Mr. Money1235, I will see you guys later.